It's only been a week since Trump was elected, and some Trump voters are already stunned at what he is doing. Despite all of the evidence, all of the facts being there the entire time, I am always amazed at just how stupid people are. So let me take you on a journey through Donald Trump's national security team and how surprising this was apparently to some people that these aren't, randos out in the wild that just showed up one day to vote. No, these are people that are online, should know better, but are incredibly stupid. Dave Smith, who apparently is a comic and considers himself to be an independent thinker, tweeting here, the Stop Pompeo movement, speaking of Mike Pompeo, Trump's former Secretary of State, who is a neocon, the Stop Pompeo movement is great, but it's not enough. Right now, we need maximum pressure to keep all neocons and war hawks out of the Trump administration. They've had their time at the table and brought nothing but disaster to the world and this country. America first, screw the war machine. Dave Smith, Trump voter, thought he voted for somebody who's anti-war. Incredible. So Donald Trump Jr. replies to this, saying, agreed 100%, I'm on it. Don Jr.'s on the case. Don't worry. No neocons in Trump's administration. Don Jr. is going to make sure of that. So the team has Brian Hook running the National Security Transition Team. Oh, I'm sure this is some anti-war guy. He's on the case. It's going to make sure all the neocons and warhawks get nowhere near Donald Trump. Actually, he was the senior advisor to then Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Like, this is just comical shit. Comical. They're all on the Stop Pompeo movement. And the person the Trump team picks to advise on who the national security team is going to be was a senior advisor to Mike Pompeo. So this is a guy that Pompeo had once praised Hook as a trusted advisor who achieved historic results against the Iranian regime. Yes, by tearing up the Iran deal. And we'll get to more on that because there's a whole history with Trump and his pro-war breakdown. But tearing up the Iran deal and just increasing tensions with Iran. Like, at what point did you think you were voting for somebody who is anti-war? I could see being fooled the first time in 2016, not knowing what Trump's actually going to do. But to vote for him again, this time, when you can go back and look and see what he did? Incredible. Incredible just how stupid people are. I'm amazed. This is from Common Dreams. Their headline here, Trump expected to pick rabid neocon Marco Rubio. They're all in on getting the neocons away. I thought Don Jr. was on the case. Nope. In fact, it's even worse. They have this clown. So Jeremy Scahill, I'll break down more of Rubio's history in a second here, but Scahill writing, Trump's emerging national security team is shaping up to be a kettle of hawkish neocons. His reported pick for the NSA, Mike Waltz, was Dick Cheney's counterterrorism advisor and worked for Donald Rumsfeld. Marco Rubio, Elise Stefanik are B-list neocon warmongers. So on Rubio, he is one of the most reliable war hawks and interventionists in Congress, has vocally backed Israel's war in the Gaza Strip, agitated for a military confrontation with Iran, and encouraged a coup in Venezuela. He also is a China hardliner, much like Trump's national security advisor pick, Mike Waltz. The expected Rubio pick runs counter to Trump's attempt during the campaign to posture as a candidate of peace, which is how J.D. Vance described him. A candidate of peace. So let me break that down right now, actually. You know what? We'll skip ahead here. I'll get to the reaction from some Trump voters to the Rubio pick. But Trump massively escalated the country's existing wars. In Afghanistan, he substantially upped the amount of airstrikes. In Yemen, he escalated both U.S. counterterrorism activities and support for the devastating Saudi-led war against the Houthis. There were 2,243 drone strikes in just the first 2 years of Trump's presidency, compared with 1,878 in the entire 8 years of the Obama administration. Trump came very close to tweeting the country into a nuclear war with North Korea in late 2017 or early 2018. I actually recently discussed this because of those that worked with him back then. came out to call him a fascist this time, partly because of what he was trying to do while he was president, including trying to start a war with North Korea. That was only stopped because the people around him stopped him. So he ordered the Pentagon to develop new plans over the resistance of then Secretary of Defense James Mattis to do so. And the only way they were able to convince Trump not to start a war with North Korea was they had to work on his narcissism and say, oh, you would come off as the smartest salesman ever if you're able to strike a deal with North Korea. They had to work on his the fact that he's a narcissist to be able to talk him down from starting anything with North Korea. Trump also bowed to Washington's neoconservative hawks and withdrew from from the Iran deal, the non-proliferation agreement with Iran. So, as I said earlier, resulting in Iran scaling up both its provocative activities in the region and its nuclear program. Trump was also seen as a dangerous interventionist that Congress passed so dangerous that Congress passed the first war powers resolution in history to try and end his support for the Yemen war. And there's more here, by the way, like on Venezuela, we can go on and on and on. I'm not going to sit here all day reading a piece from Foreign Policy, but this is what happened. I'll link to this below the video. All of this was out there. It's not like it was a secret that Trump is a neocon, is a war hawk, or you could argue even that he doesn't care. Because that's kind of my position. Trump doesn't care, but the people around him, the Republican Party, that's what they are. That's why it's important to always attach Trump to the Republican Party. Trump isn't his own thing. He is the party. That's what the party is. They use him as a vessel to do what they want to do. It was clear the first time. It's even clearer now. That anyone fell for this is incredible. Dave Smith, can't believe the leopards ate my face. Marco Rubio is a disaster. Might as well give Liz Cheney the State Department. Awful sign. Other reactions to this from conservatives, from Trump voters. Rubio's record screams establishment politics, backing disastrous foreign interventions and championing the defense spending that feeds the military-industrial complex. This isn't just disappointing. How are you disappointed? This is exactly who he is. It's a red flag that more of the same failed strategies are coming. Mike Mills says here, yeah, appointments so far not looking great. Voted for the DRAM team. I think he means the Dream Team, which, I mean, this is why these people fall for this shit. The Dream Team apparently consists of Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. And so far, crickets on that front. I know still time and plenty of appointments, but not loving it thus far. And then Kevin here, I thought we were supposed to be draining the swamp. There has to be a deeper reason if he does select Rubio. On the surface, this makes no sense. I mean, we could look at Trump's entire history as president, but this makes no sense. Idiots. So, Mehdi Hassan also pointing out here, in terms of the Waltz pick, you can't make this up. Trump spent the entire end of his campaign attacking Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney and their war record, and yet his pick for National Security Advisor is, wait for it, the former counterterrorism advisor to VP Dick Cheney. All right, couple last things. So Trump's tweet from 2015 was brought back up by Patriot Takes here, saying where he said Sheldon Adelson is looking to give big dollars to Rubio because he feels he can mold him into his perfect little puppet. Patriot Takes brings up, what about Miriam Adelson? Sheldon Adelson, of course, has passed. Miriam Adelson is his widow. And as I pointed out, this was like a few days before the election. I think I did a video on this. Pro-Israel billionaire Miriam Adelson backs Trump's campaign, pushes for West Bank annexation. The Adelsons, both Sheldon Adelson and Miriam Adelson, huge donors of Donald Trump. And that's after he criticized Rubio. They're both on the same page here. This is what they voted for. This and many other hawkish positions. Anyone thinking that Trump was anti-war simply did not read anything, did not pay attention at all while he was president. I wish I could enjoy this more, seeing these people reap what they sow, but the reality is this is not good news for anybody. Whether it's, a Trump supporter that thought he was anti-war or the rest of the world.